Hi, I'm Johan Martinson. I would like to share a little bit about what approval test can do for us. Approval test is an ID that has several implementations. Basically, it's an assertion library. It replaces the assert equals you have in your code for some tests. So it's very easy to put into practice. To showcase how it works, I've written a small piece of production code. It's a message class, and it has a method text4, which basically compiles a promotional email that we can customize with a name. To assert this, I'm using ApprovalTests, this verify message string. As you can see, there's only the result, and there is no expected message string. This is because it works in a sense of record and replay. The first time we run this, we're going to save the expected message. All right, so let's launch this. Launching the test. You can see that briefly that the tests failed, and because they failed, approval tests open up a diff tool. In this case, file merge, but it can be any based on your platform. So here we can see to the left we have a text file which is called received.txt. This is the message string that the code produced. And approved.txt, this is the previously approved file. So for now it's empty. To save this as the reference result, I'm going to choose the left pane and save the approved file. Close the diff tool, and now as I rerun the tests are going to pass. Tests are going to pass because we have the approved file here, which contains the message string that is produced. Alright, so now we have a working test. How about we introduce a regression to see what happens? I'm going to go up a little bit and I'm going to introduce a spelling error. And launch the tests, and now we see that the diff tool has opened because the tests failed, because there was a diff, and it presents us with the diff in a very easy to read way. So I'm gonna close this because this is a bug, so I have to fix the code. There we go, and now I rerun it and the test passes. Okay, good. That shows that it worked for strings, but sometimes we have an object in our code and we want to assert on that. So let's see how we can do that. We also have a method body4. It basically returns an object, a message body object, and we can use verify as JSON, basically serialize it to JSON and compare. So now we see that to the left here we have an object message body that has three properties: greeting, recipient, and text body, and it has serialized those. So we can see here John here. So I'm going to prove this. There we go. All right, so now it turns out it works. We now have another approved file here. Sometimes our objects, however, they don't return anything, not string nor object, but they have side effects that we want, that are dear to us. To show how that works, we have this method on message. It writes the body to a file. And to test that, we can simply read the whole file into a string, and as we have that, we can use ordinary verify on it. So let's launch this test and see what happens. Alright, so we had this file written to the disk. Good. Seems good enough to me, so I'll save that. Save the approved file and relaunch the test, and they're all passing. Good. Alright, so we've seen that it works basically with string comparison, and to leverage a string comparison for objects or for side effects, we have to serialize those into a string. That's always easy, and it allows us to use a diff tool, which is very good at presenting a diff to a human so that he can decide whether it was a regression or whether it was a correct evolution of the software. Very well. That's a short introduction to ApprovalTest. Thank you.